Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of iNewz. So, couple of things already today. Before we get to our lovely stuff, there's more bunny geese hanging around. I just noticed
Yeah,
that
they've been breeding.
they've been breeding.
Breeding
We're breeding Dunning the
like
bunny
bunnies.
geese on our set.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. As
Duck
long as they
bunnies.
pop out Cadbury eggs, I really don't care. I'm good. So breed
It's
away.
slightly gross, but that's okay. I'd probably still eat them, to be honest. I love them.
They are adorable. Okay, so obviously Wolf is my co-host. He's right
I
there
am.
in his. Now, are you celebrating Easter or Halloween or a mix? By the way, because you're orange and
I'm
black there.
celebrating. Yeah, I'm celebrating Easter. I just like orange and black. So
You
yeah,
obviously have the
Easter.
two holidays confused, don't you?
I
I'm
have a
just
lot of
saying.
things confused, Eddie. You know that about me.
This is true. It's why you're my co-host. Then on the other side of me, we have our events coordinator, InWorldz, who handles all of our sponsored events, and she sets up all you lovely volunteers and gets everything going. And so let's all give a great big round of hellos to events coordinator, or otherwise known as EC.
Hi,
Welcome,
everybody.
EC.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can everybody hear her? Okay, perfecto. All right.
Excellent.
Great. So, okay, big kudos, Teal. The set is amazing, even with the breeding bunny geese things. Are these ducks, geese? What are they exactly?
They're duck bunnies.
They're duck bunnies. Okay,
I'm
so they're
surprised
duck
you don't know
bunnies.
that. Yeah,
No, I
duck
don't know
bunny.
these things. Duck bunnies. So,
Yeah.
the set looks really great on sunrise. By the way, it looks absolutely fantastic, and Teal has once again outdone herself. I hope. Speaking of the set and the theme, which was Easter, which I asked for, which was a spring thing, I hope everybody had an absolutely fantastic Easter holiday.
Indeed.
I know we partied hard here down in Panama, and funny thing is they party for 4 days for Easter down here. It was
Mhm.
absolutely insane for 4 days here. Um, so that was a lot of fun, a lot of music, a lot of good stuff going on, and lots of people visiting the beach. It was really fantastic. So I hope everybody had a great holiday, and you spent some good time with family and friends and all that. And the other thing, did anybody hide the Easter eggs for the kids that didn't really exist and tell them to go find them? Anybody? Anybody?
Wait, they didn't really exist part worries me a bit.
Yes, yeah, because it was April Fool's and Easter.
Well, it was, wasn't it? That's very true. That would be a terrible thing to do to a child. Respecting your parenting skills there. Well done.
Okay, you're talking to the mother who had her daughter convinced that she didn't have a brain and it was sitting in a jar of formaldehyde in her closet. Come on.
Wow.
It is so
That
something I would
explains so
do.
much.
She was in kindergarten. What can I say? It was just, it was fun. She came home and said, Mommy, guess what I learned about today? I learned about the brain and the central nervous system and how you can't live without a brain. Well, then how am I doing it? Anyways, yeah,
And you people
probably.
wonder why Ellie scares me. Seriously. Just think about it.
So anyways, we have EC on today because we are going to be talking about our big birthday bash, which also happens on April 1st. Now, a little bit of history here, though, just so that I don't confuse everybody. April 1st, month of April, is the month that we actually officially celebrate our birthday. However, historically, InWorldz actually started before April 1st. It actually started February 12th, just so that everybody knows. But we do the whole April thing because it just actually, that's what works out best for us, and it works really well. We like that whole April Fool's Day thing. So yeah, that's our birthday month, and we are on 9 years. Oh my gosh, we are on 9 years. 9 years I've been doing this.
Yep.
And I'm wearing my special, I'm wearing my very special little sweatshirt that the team made. It's the InWorldz 9. And if you look, it's got little dino prints going down the side of it, which we're going to get to. There is an egg in my hand.
There is.
There
There
is.
is. Till put it there
It's,
so that you could hold it during the show instead of your bizarre troll.
what do you have against my troll? Really? Seriously? We've been over this, Wolf. You should be used to it by now.
It turns and looks at me when you're not looking. It's creepy.
That should tell you something.
It does. It tells me it's creepy.
Okay. Well, no.
Hey, I want to
that's
know.
easy.
I want to know. Just you said 9 years you've been doing this for.
Yes.
There are rumors that you were sane 9 years ago. Is that just a rumor, or do
What
you
do you
think
mean?
InWorldz has done that?
No, I've been doing it for 9 years. Yes.
Yeah.
The original team that really existed. So some of the history was, yeah, I started in Second Life way, 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 way long ago. And single mom, 2 kids, etc. Um, didn't basically, couldn't really handle the whole Second Life pricing and all that. So then I went to another grid who shall remain nameless, but are no longer in existence. And unfortunately, that guy was pretty much a scam artist. And then when we found out about OpenSim, we said, well, maybe we could do this ourselves because I have the technical background for it. And we did, and all 6 of us logged in on this big blank region. And our first server, no joke, was through GoDaddy. Yes, through GoDaddy.
Wow.
Yes, with 512 megabytes of RAM. That was our first machine. Obviously, it no longer exists. We don't use GoDaddy anymore, but that was our first test, and we managed to get it. And then after that, we did some talking, trying to, because GoDaddy couldn't handle what we really needed. Obviously, GoDaddy's not designed for those kind of services.
Yeah.
And then we got to CarryNet and started there. And yeah, so there you go. That was the start of InWorldz. And the first build actually was not the shopping center build. I don't know if anybody actually remembers what the original first build was.
I was going to say, what was it?
Does anybody? Okay, trivia for everybody. What was the first build for actual InWorldz Desert Island?
There you go. Zalba remembers.
Well, let's see. We'll see. We'll find out if Zaba
Yeah.
remembers. Nope, that was not the actual first build. That's not the actual first build. She remembers a bridge. No. No, actually, it was a Roman kind of build. It had a Colosseum. It had some stores. We had sort of the desert off on the side, but the actual first build was actual Roman. So, yeah.
Do you have any pictures of that? Because if you do,
of course I do.
You should give one to EC to put up somewhere on the IW9 build.
Oh God, it was horrible. Let's not relive those days.
No, you should. You should.
No,
right the way from
it was
here.
so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. And then we got the shopping center build, which was really, really fantastic. Which also brings up another topic before we get to poor EC, who's been sitting here forever. So we are looking. I know a lot of you guys have said that IDI needs to be more welcoming, and it needs, to have some things done to it. So I am talking to somebody, because I do have a builder in mind for actually redoing our IDI, and we're going to move Jackson Square to its proper educational facility place. I'm not asking for volunteers, and there's a very distinct reason why I'm not asking for volunteers, and I don't want any hurt feelings here. I am looking for a very particular style of build. I want it very much mesh, and I want to get away from the whole tropical theme, sort of. There is a bit of tropical to it, but not a lot. It's a different type of tropical that I'm looking for. And the person that I've asked to do this, or is going to be asking, because we're still in discussions, we're going to be setting all of it up and how I want the layout to be, which also means I will be allowing freebies back onto IDI again, which I know is really, really important to the merchants. We still have to work out exactly how we're going to do it, because again, we don't want to end up with what we had on the original, or the second original IDI, which is having the mentors having to clean up, stuff that just doesn't belong there. Fortunately, Zauber has an answer for that, so we'll probably be making bigger use of Zauber's scripts for that.
Well, what we have works very well for that as well. It's very low maintenance if you want to talk to us about that.
Okay, so we're going to be doing that. That's definitely in the works, so I want you guys to know that. It's in discussions right now as to what I really want to see, and so I do expect that to be coming out probably in the next 3-4 months, and that's going to be big, and I'm really having a direct, heavy hand in it, because after having so many IDIs, I really sort of understand what we need and what we need to have there, so and how I want it laid out. So keep that in mind. It's just something that's definitely in the works. Okay, guys. So I will let you know more as we get closer and closer to actually putting it out there. All right, so with all that done, all of my little announcements and my little InWorldz 9 hoodie. By the way, you guys gotta get one of these hoodies. There's one for Jurassic Isle, and there's one. It's so cool. Anyway, so I'm meandering as I usually do. So let's go over to EC now. EC, I was at the lovely grand opening yesterday for our big birthday bash, and I gotta say that build is absolutely freaking amazing. I was impressed with the colors, the outside of the box design. I love the way it was organized on the inside for the information, for the events, for everything else. And I really love the fact that we went with this whole theme that Matt came to us with for the idea, which was the whole Jurassic Isle thing. So with that all said, I'm going to turn it over to you because that's what I do.
Okay. Well, speaking of the market area, it was designed by Tiana, and content creator. And
Tiana, you can throw things at her.
I know. I'm sorry, Tiana. I had Till on my mind because of my duck bunny. But it was Tiana Genesis created it along with content creator. And we wanted to have a feel of when you landed that as you turned around, you would immediately be able to see things that would give you something to do or read about or find out about, like the information shop or getting a free gift at the gift shop or trying to find out venues you can go to, like, as you can find in our entertainment shop. And then we have a gallery. So it's as soon as you land there, there's something to do. And then when you go outside of the pyramid structure, then we have a lot of shops that you can shop at. And we have a lot of different merchants, some of the best in InWorldz. So we're really proud of that. And as you said, we have a lot of events. Our whole IW9 started on April the 1st and it will end April the 30th. And we opened with 2 birthday parties, and we had the grand opening for the market, which you were at yesterday. And also at the market, you can get some of the shirts like you have. They're up inside the information center little shop. So if you go up there, you'll see all of our information. But on the back wall, you'll see a row of shirts and hoodies and things that have our birthday balloon IW9 emblem on it that you can get for free. And we also have some freebies all over the whole event Sims. And so on the 6th, we're going to be having our Jurassic Isle grand opening. And as you mentioned, the Jurassic Isle basically came out of a request, a proposal by Matt Foxclaw. And he approached Elliot and asked if he could create a multi-sim interactive Jurassic themed set of Sims, multi-Sims. So she approved that. And so that's a project that's about 9 Sims, and it's interactive, and there's tons of things to do there. And it was a really huge team effort. The build leaders for that were Jewel Hunter and Drew Hunter. And we had a lot of other content creators that I can't take time to list everyone, but there's a plaque that lists everybody that was involved with creating Jurassic Park. It will be at the Welcome Center there. So please go there. It's not open yet, but it will be open to the public on the 6th. And let's see. So while you're there, there's freebies there. There's like 3 gift shops, and we have shirts like what I'm wearing for the Tinies. And we have hoodies for the Dinkies that have the Jurassic logo on it. And then we have all the gifts there are Jurassic logoed. And there are cups you can get. I mean, there's just tons of free things you can get there that have Jurassic logos on them. And so a lot of fun things to do.
Don't go swimming. That's all I'm going to tell you. Don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Be careful about jumping in the aquarium because the Jurassic sea life will attack. So just be careful. And then there's also one sim that is called Hunt or Be Hunted, which is interactive. You can grab a gun and a meter and actually shoot the Jurassic creatures. So that's a fun experience. And you can kind of, and then the wonderful thing is it's really, truly, when you go see this Welcome Center, your jaw is going to drop because it's like walking into a real life history museum. It's got, Jewel has created little boxes that give you information on all the different Jurassic creatures. There's some interactive things in there too. It's just really incredible. So be sure to explore the whole Welcome Center. There's a lab and everything. It's just amazing.
It was pretty cool. My favorite was the fossil pit. I wandered through
Yes,
there. The fossil pit is really cool, guys. You really should
it
check it
really
out.
is. Astoria
It's
created that, and it's really cool because you kind of act like you're digging for fossils and you find fossils and artifacts as you're walking around. It's cool. So that kind of takes care of Jurassic, and then the 7th we start our regular week and a few days of entertainment, which we will have tons of activities. Then we have DJs and storytellers, live acts. We have games, our Primtionary, Prim Expressions, I think we call it, with Fair Montoya. He does that, hosts that for us. And the Wee Folk have a zoo hunt. So there's a missing kitty out there. And if you go to the sim that has the Wee Folk Build Zoo, you can find little missing kitties and their gifts inside when you click on them. So be sure and search those. We also have we tried something different this year. We're having venue sponsorships. So what we did was we went to different venues and said, you provide, half a day of entertainment, and then we'll let you put out a little information board about your venue and then your entertainers. So we're going to see how that works, but I think it'll be good to help get exposure for some of the venues and also for some of the entertainers. And then we end the whole thing with a big, huge pyro musical by Pyro VR and Natiri Omatakaya. I hope I pronounced that right. And she's got a LOTR themed
just go with
set
Nene.
for that.
That's what everybody calls her.
Okay,
Nene.
Nene. Yeah, that's what I call her. I call her Nene. So it's going to be really cool because it's kind of this Lord of the Rings themed set for it. So that's going to be exciting. And we also have other games, and we're going to have another flower. I call it the Vine, Explore the Vine hunt. And people are going to create flowers that we will be placing at different portions on the vine, which the vine goes throughout every sim in the complex of sims that we have. And as you walk down the path, you can look at the sims and explore them and find little flowers. And some of the flowers will have sit poses and some of them will have gifts. So it encourages you to explore all the sims because we've got a lot of builders. We have build sims and then we have some art exhibits. And we want everybody to explore all of that and see all the wonderful creations that the members of InWorldz have created.
Well, that will definitely keep them busy now, won't it? I don't even
should.
think I've done that because, like, I know I went through. Well, I went through though before everything was actually done. I went through the week before when I found the fossil pit and stuff. And I know that I wandered through and I saw the raptors and the rexes and all the other stuff. And I did manage to avoid the pool. I'm not sure how I did that. But I did. I checked out the hotel, obviously the hotel and spa, which was very cool. Let's see here. And then obviously I was over at the big Mayan temple yesterday. Okay, Tiana, is that supposed to be Mayan or is it supposed to be Aztec? Just out of curiosity. I'm thinking Mayan.
It's Mayan. It's Mayan.
It's Mayan? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
So it really tickles me because it's one of the things that we want to do while we're down here in Panama is go down and see some of the Mayan stuff. Obviously not here in Panama because it doesn't exist here in Panama, but so yeah, it was just really, really cool. And what I really loved was just the wonderful attention to detail, all of the Aztec symbols and the colors. Oh, the colors were fantastic. I just, it's one of those when you get out of your comfort zone and you go to other places and you realize how much vibrant colors they use, and you're like, hey, how come we don't do that?
Yeah, it's very colorful. It really is.
Oh yes, it was really, really
and
awesome.
She did a lot of research on the Mayan culture and the Mayan art. So that's what those symbols up there, she's kind of gotten that from her research that she did. And so I think she did a lot of work on the research for it. It turned out really well.
Yeah, we won't talk about the swearing that happened over in the Discord chat. Yeah, no, we won't mention that, Tiana. So yeah, it seems like every year, and I always wonder this because after 9 years, right? After 9 years, it's kind of like, well, how can you outdo the year before, right? And next year is our decennial. So I don't even know how.
I know how we're doing that. I've
Oh my
already got
gosh,
the
you-
plans.
Wow. Okay.
Wolf and I have already talked about the plans, and we're going to announce it at the Pyro Musical, so people will have a full year to get ready for it. Should we give them a hint about it now, Wolf, or wait?
I don't know. I'm typing the answer to that. I mean, I'm
I
actually
was wondering, why are you
I'm
typing?
listening to this, thinking, like I was just an audience member. No, you go ahead.
Okay, we'll give you a little hint about it. We haven't decided on the actual catchphrase yet, but we're kind of thinking, what is your X factor? Because it's the 10th year, the Roman numeral X, so it's going to be IWX, and it's going to be what is your X factor? And we're going to kind of highlight things like exciting, extraordinary, anything that kind of has that X in it. It doesn't have to have the X, but it's just got to be something showing off what your
Lexi,
X
not-
No,
factor is.
Lexi, not triple X. Just
No.
I'm adding
really?
another 5 checkmarks on your naughty list just for
You
that.
really should. You really should.
But it's a broad enough theme, but I think it still kind of highlights that kind of special year of
Yeah,
being
and
our 10th anniversary. So we're excited about that, and everybody will have a full year to think about. Like extraterrestrial would be a good one.
it's
So
kind of a way, really fun way of saying, what is it that has made your kind of InWorld's life, really exciting, special? What
exactly.
is it that's really, really
Exhilarating.
special to you?
Yes.
Yep. So that being the theme rather than having a specific theme for it.
Exactly. So
Well, that sounds
speaking,
pretty cool.
I have to mention because some of these builds are just amazing, and I know I can't mention every one of them, but one of the first ones that was built was just really cool. It's a Flintstone kind of themed. It's called Bedrock and Burgers. It's by Nick Breen, and it is just adorable. I
It's
mean,
a lot of
you really
fun.
feel like you're in that area. And then
Oh, am I going to start singing the theme song when I go over there? Because I know the theme song
you
by
probably
heart.
will.
Oh,
And
God.
Lola and Sven have created a birthday tribute sim, and it's got a lot of nice interactive things on it. It's got a bubble you can ride for a tour of the sim. You can walk around the daisy forest. There's a slug. You can ride a slug, and there are canoes. And
Are there slug races?
she doesn't have races. I don't think you can ride the slug. I'll have to talk to her about making it into
We
a
need to do
race.
slug races. I
We
mean,
should.
seriously, slug races would be like the bomb, you know?
Yes. Well, that's one of the things I want to plan for the 10th thing is I'm going to talk to this is a little bit different. I want to talk to Judy about doing a dog fight exhibition and thing.
Mhm.
So and maybe combine it with the battleships. So maybe on the ground we'll have the battleships doing real battle action, and then in the air we'll have dog fights. That would be something really exciting for the 10th anniversary.
Yeah,
But back
I
to
wanna
this
have
one. Oh,
X
go ahead.
factor thing in that as well. Get people
Yeah.
to show off their sort of stand-up comedy and expect
Oh,
it to be
yes.
as painful as some of the actual X Factor is.
Oh, that's a good
But
idea.
yeah, that's another thing I want to have in next year.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yep.
We could also do the comp for singing or comedy, etc.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And
I
of
like
course,
that.
for our entertainment, we're going to have the Golden Touch Theater Group, which is led by Callie and Dell. And so everybody loves those shows. So that's going to be this coming, I believe, let me check my calendar. I think it's Saturday.
I think it was
Yes,
the 17th.
it's Saturday.
Yeah.
It's Saturday, one at 11 a.m. and a show at 2 p.m. So I know everybody will not want to miss that. And of course, we have our Prim Expressions with Ferrator that everybody loves that, and that's going to be on the 17th. But in between, lots of DJs, lots of live singers, and just so much to do. I mean, there's something really jam-packed just about every day. And
I love the interactive thing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go through the Sims. I can't do it today because I've already got a full slate going on. But I think tomorrow, I think what I should do is just go through. Which also brings me to the other idea I had that I was thinking about yesterday. But anyways, I'll get to that in a second. I'm going to go through and just list all the different interactive things that you can do in there. But let me segue into this brilliant idea I had. So today is the 4th, right? So we're going to say on the 18th, we're going to have a contest. So between now and the 18th, I want to see your best birthday videos / pictures. You can either post them on Facebook to our InWorldz group. you can send them to me directly as a link or a note card or whatever, but they have to get to me. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run a judge test, or like, judges who will actually rate who is the best, and we're going to give out prizes, eyes, and maybe even a free region, or if you already own a region, then free month rental. Yes, that's for this year. I was thinking about it yesterday, Lexi, while we were out dancing and whatnot, and the whole out of the box concept. I really want to see what you guys think about our actual events and whatnot. I want you to go and I want you to experience and say, okay, this was really a lot of fun, and here's my best video or best photo. We'll divide it up too, so don't feel bad if you can't do video. You're not going to be judged based on the fact that it's not video. Videos will be separate, photos will be separate. So that way, for those of you who want to do just photos, like we know Rig is Mr. Photo king over there. But if you guys really want to, we'll have the two categories, so you can do video or you can do that. And just go have fun and explore it and submit them. What's the worst that can happen? Seriously.
Bensky could block up your inbox with 300 videos.
That's
He
That's the
already
worst
does
that could
that.
happen.
And Rig, literally, as I told you, I had to clean out 14.5 gigabytes worth of stuff out of my emails from Rig. So I already know is, get a group of you, go explore, go hunt dinos, go run through the fossil pits. Hey, jump in the water and see if you can take on the fish. Do whatever, go have fun, and send us your stuff and say, hey, I had a lot of fun doing this. So, and
I think
a
that's
lot
a
of it,
very cool idea.
I think, yeah. And I want you guys to go have fun and just go enjoy it and send it in. And then what we'll do is we'll set it for the 25th. We will announce the winners.
Oh, great. That's
Yeah,
a good idea.
So,
I'm inspired by this. I'm inspired to the point where I'm considering offering a very small prize to anybody that can send me photos of that first sort of Roman build that they built in InWorldz. Since Ellie apparently doesn't want us to see it.
I've never given them to anybody, and I'm the only one with all of the oldest photos of InWorldz.
There must be somebody else who saw it and took a picture.
Good luck. Good luck. It was so bad nobody wanted to take a picture. Come on, let's be real, okay?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to interject and say something here, because I feel like when I'm doing this, I feel like those people at the Academy Awards that want to thank everybody but don't have time to. But I do want to thank a few unsung heroes, because they do so much on our events team, and people probably don't even realize half of what they do, because we don't make a big deal about it, and they certainly don't make a big deal about it. But one of those people is Moontan Valiva. She does so much, from landscaping to making small structures for us to designing the welcome event sim. And she's always there to help. And she also helps with different teams, because we have multiple teams working on things. So she's kind of like liaisons between them. And so she is just invaluable. So I did want to mention her, because she gets very little credit for things. And also Astoria, who is a huge help. She's kind of like my ear whisperer. I call her my ear whisperer. She kind of tries to keep me on track if I go astray, and remind me of things I may not have thought of. So Astoria is a big part of our team, and Wolf obviously is a big part of our team.
I just throw ideas around.
But we need that. I mean, Wolf and I love to brainstorm. So, and then of course, Old Soul, who is the co-chair, and he certainly is a big element. He helps me in just a multitude of ways. Rig is our photographer, kind of our official photographer, Rig Tark. And of course, Bensky is our official videographer. And Events Booker handles the booking. She kind of is the one that does the confirmations for the bookings and things like that. And am I missing anybody, Wolf, on our main core team?
We have Events Booker, but that's another anonymous character. But that's somebody that, although being unnamed for the same clear reasons that EC has an official name, these people need to do something else with their lives and not constantly be pestered. But the person behind Events Booker does a great deal of work for the team. So but other than that, people sort of step in and out, and each build
has
its sort of
has
team
kind of been lately. Well, she was on our core team in the beginning, and then she's kind of had to leave for a little bit. She's back now. So Tiana, Genesis, and content creator, are kind of now on our core team. So, but then we have other people that are on other aspects. So like Jewel and some other those people, they're on our other build teams and things.
Yeah,
so.
they tend to, whilst not being part of that core management team, which we
Right.
keep kind of small, so that we can get things done. But there are people that tend to be lead builders on pretty much every event.
Right.
And I just want to add, I hope you don't mind, EC, I just want to add, we get criticism. There are people, as you know, Ellie, there are some people that just only ever criticize and complain. But there are a lot of people who say, how is it that it's always the same people that do this stuff? Well, they're the only ones that volunteer. We would absolutely love new people to get involved in this.
Yes.
You know, if you want to be part of doing these amazing things, either for one event or help out the core team on a regular basis, please volunteer.
The only preference we give is if you submit, you get it. So if you don't submit, then you don't do anything. You can't do it because we don't know you want to do it. So you got to submit. That's our preference. Submit, and that's it.
Yep. Have an idea.
Well, Lexi has a question here for a big event like that. I actually know the answer to this, Lexi, but it's better for EC to answer this. How far in advance do you start planning for it?
It depends. Now I'm starting to plan a lot more farther ahead than I used to. We used to do a few months. Of course, the first one I had like 1 month, but from then on I tried to.
I'm sorry. All right,
that's not your no. I'm not complaining. But anyhow, we've tried to expand it further and further. So now we're going to starting this year. We're going to have a year planning event. So at the end of each event, we will announce the next year's event theme and things we want to do for that next year. So at the end of this one, we're going to announce plans that we want to have for IWX. At the end of this coming Fall Fest, we'll announce what next year's Fall Fest is going to be too. And the reason we want to do that is so everybody has a full year to plan out anything they may want to be involved in, so they don't have to rush at the last minute to build something, or if they've got other commitments to other groups and other projects, they can balance it out during the year and not feel pressured, so that it can still be fun. Because the idea is we want people to have fun when they do this, that we don't want them to feel like, oh my gosh, I just found out about this month and I've only got a month to get this done. We're trying to get away from that. So hopefully it's for everyone. And Wolf is absolutely correct. Anybody that applies, there's only been one time that somebody applied that they didn't get to do it, and that was because they had done every single event prior to that, and a new person came in and I need to give the new person the slot. So generally I give preference to new people. So if you've built for every event we've had and some new person comes in, one of you may be bumped out because I'm going to give that new person preference. Or I give collaborations preference. So if it comes down to that we don't have enough stems for all the submissions, then I prioritize by whether they've never done it before. If they haven't, then they get the first shot. If they're a team build, then they get priority over individual builds. But other than that, we have never had to refuse anybody. So if you want to showcase something you've got and you've never done it before, all you have to do is submit a proposal to us and we consider it. And tell us how much space you need, a scenic, a full sim, or a quarter sim, or what size you need exactly. But the other thing is, where do I get this information? We always have a poster giver, which was created by Wolf, and it's absolutely incredible because it auto updates. So if you get one of those boards and you put it somewhere in your land, every time we change out the poster on it or the content, it will automatically update on your sim, and you can get the latest and greatest information. So if you've got one of those out right now and I go up there today and change one of the notices, if you re-click on it, you'll get the new notice. So grab a poster. You can get them at our market area, or you can get them at the Welcome Center. And IDI should have a poster out there, and several other places have them.
Clicking the poster along with the information gives you copies of the poster.
Exactly.
So that you can put them up on your own land as well.
Okay, so that's good information. Something else that I should probably point out as well. One of the things that, if anybody who's been hanging around me lately when I've actually been on, you've heard some of the things that I've been working on in the background. And one of those things is something that I feel very, very strongly about. I love virtual reality, and I love all its potential that it has.
Yeah, me too.
I love the fact that it can be used in so many things, and sometimes we just don't see that it's coming to fruition. Part of that is because I think there was a big mistake made in the fact that this is a really, really, really complex platform. As a gamer chick, one of the things that really, really bothers me is that coming into InWorldz versus going into an actual online game, there's only a couple of games out there that have a really complex learning curve. But even then, InWorldz still pretty much beats it hands down. Any kind of virtual reality that's basically OpenSim or SL based is very, very complex, right? And it takes a lot of work for somebody to get to it. And as I talk to people, I always have to tell them, I may run the grid and I may know a lot of things about the grid, but even I, after so many years, don't know everything about the grid. I mean, the things that you can do, the mesh that you could do, I mean, the different scripting, all of this stuff that has to go on. I don't know all of that. I don't think there's actually anybody, I mean, between our devs, I don't think there's a single solitary person in any of these who is an actual expert at all of it. If you know what I'm saying, because it's just too much. There's just
and
too
that's
much.
why it takes team collaboration, I think, to do some of these.
Exactly. So what we're doing, what I've been working on, is the other side of it is virtual reality is virtual reality, and I see a lot of VR stuff coming out and whatnot, and I'm still of the opinion that it's going to have a hard time taking off and becoming mainstay because of other issues. But what I do see, what I see as a potential, is bringing the real life into the virtual, making a junction between the two. And I see that this really needs to happen. If the virtual is going to take off, there needs to be this junction between the two. And I think the ball was dropped early on in its technology because of the learning curve that was put in front of the people. So when I'm talking to people about coming in and doing their real life projects here, my take has really been, you worry about your real life, we will worry about your virtual life, which is where you guys come in. So here's the deal. I'm working with a lot of real life people who are about to start coming into our grid. I've got one that's coming in tomorrow. He's bringing his partner who has a different business in next week. I've got another one who's coming in, actually two others, one who does fashion and things like that. I've got another one who's coming in who does learning education with sort of like an incubation point for young hip hop artists. They're like an incubator. We're bringing in a guy who actually grows peppermint on a peppermint farm in Michigan. And he's really, really excited about the agrication concept, where you can learn about how to grow peppermint, what it can all be used for, what its properties are, etc. These are people that are coming in. They have not a clue about how to get started in a virtual world.
Yeah.
No clue. All right. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting a call out to match people with their real life counterparts to help them build out what they need to have. We will get all the specs of everything that they need to have. And yes, you will get paid for it. All right. As long as you're not charged 3 arms and 4 legs, you should be fine. So we're going to need your skill sets to help these people bring what they want to bring to the virtual setting, because we don't want them beating their head on a wall trying to figure out everything that you've already learned how to do. It doesn't make sense. So when we have things that are going on, such as like a simulating peppermint farm, we're going to be putting a call out for somebody who can actually do this to the specs that we need. And here's what you're going to get paid in order to do it. So you spread that word around, because this is a big opportunity for you guys as creators, or for even just running around and seeing something new, learning something new. The other concept is you'll be able to use your eyes to buy their products, their real life products.
But on the flip side too, Alenia, and I just thought this because I love this little duck bunny, this may be an opportunity for some of the creators here that make things here, and they only make things here, to think about maybe marketing on Etsy or some other place some of their products and turn them into real life products. I mean, I was just thinking, if this little duck bunny was somewhere I could go buy on Etsy, I'd go buy it for one of my nieces or nephews. I mean, so that kind of tells you how this virtual to real life can work. And it's not just
it requires that juncture between the two. There's got to be a bridge, a two-way bridge where you can do exactly that. And some of these guys, I'm going to be really, really honest, some of them have some really high contacts, and they're really, really good people to get to know. They've got real life business experience. They've got real life actual stuff that, they can help you. If there's something you're looking to do, you've got somebody who you can, maybe pick at for questions. And the other thing I'm doing when I'm talking to these guys is I am pushing them into our events. In other words, I'm telling them you have to get involved with the community. You have to be there. I'm going to be bringing them into the event sim, showing them everything that you guys can do, I'm opening their eyes to the possibilities of what's available here in virtual. All right. And that's because they're not familiar with it. They really aren't. But they're willing to give us a try, and they're willing to work with our community and say, well, if this is what it takes, then this is what it takes. Because some of these guys are just down home community boys. That's what they are. And that's how they make their money. And so they understand that they've got to be part of this community as well. Maybe not quite as, absorbed in it as some of our users, but definitely understanding that they need to be here. They need to go to the events. They need to talk and chat with you guys, ask you what's possible, what's not possible, because they're not going to know. So we're really pushing these people to, like I push the Toys for Tots and everything. You guys have real life products. You can, do something. So here's an idea that was thrown at me yesterday, as a matter of fact, before I got to the InWorldz Birthday Bash. One of the guys I'm talking to, the one with the peppermint farm, his son, who's going to take over the peppermint farm in a few years, does these like coloring books for the kids at the fairs that they go to. And I'm like, well, you could do the same thing here with a coloring book concept. I know how it would be scripted. And then basically, if the user brings it back, they get a discount on their purchase from you. And he loved that idea. He's just like, well, we don't even do that in real life. He says, but that's a great idea. I said, just imagine, you won't have any more scribbles. You'll actually have colored coloring pages. So there's a
huge, potentially huge capacity for cross-media products like that. There's a massive, I think that this is something that I'm really interested in as well. It's the potential for businesses beyond, I was involved in some of the Second Life early work on with the really big companies like Mercedes, who came into Second Life and did their thing. But there was no real way of telling smaller businesses the potential of doing it. And it's one of the things I've always been excited about InWorldz being able to do, to explore that ability to make what I think of as a softer interface gap between real life business and between real life interaction and here.
Well, there's no way for us to do it software wise, because the viewer is the viewer, and you as a creator know that you need the tools that you have in the viewer, right?
Yes, but there's so much potential in that we aren't exploring.
Well, there is, but on the flip side, my biggest concern before we started going down this path was the idea of we watched this fail. We watched it epically fail. The concept of you build it, they will come, etc. just doesn't always work. Not when you have a complex platform.
It fell apart terribly in Second Life when they tried it. Yeah.
Yes, and the idea is because they didn't create the partnership.
Yes.
The partnership of saying, we will find you the people to get what you need to get done. Yeah, you got to pay them. But we have those people, and we will put them in your face, and you can get what you need done. And that's what we're doing. And I think that makes everybody who I've spoken to, they've all said the same thing. That's exactly what we want to hear, because this is daunting. Think about when you guys first came here. It was daunting having to learn everything you had to learn. And so now we're saying we're going to help you with that. We're going to make it easy and painless. Okay, cool. There's money, but hey,
it's like the fashion thing that you said. Virtual has, it's not particularly easy creating clothes in virtual to templates and getting mesh components for it, but in a lot of ways, it's a lot easier to do it in here than it is in real life. So somebody who's doing a fashion design business in real life can come and create those fashions in here, run them past a group of people, see if they, see whether people in a virtual world are interested in them, and effectively use it as market research. And as a way to be able to do imagery and whatever. And it's not about whether you can sort of link the actual sales or whether the products work the same in either world. It's about using virtual as a toolkit, as a promotional kit, as a product development, or whatever works for that kind of business. That's what I mean about the potential. It's just this thing that, as long as it's being perceived as just being a game and having that really hard interface, that virtual is so much more difficult to use, and a big learning curve, and it has huge potential to be useful to real life businesses and individuals.
Oh yeah, especially go ahead. Go ahead,
I was just
Easy.
gonna say, I'm also a member of, I'm not a member, I guess it's a member. It's called CGLs, I think is the name of it. And it's I'm always getting notices from it saying we need people who can design 3D clothing or 3D models or things like that, that where people are starting to do more of exactly what you're talking about, taking the real life things and converting them into virtual in order to have that link between the virtual and the real world for their products. So this is an opportunity and going to be a huge opportunity for a lot of our creators here. So I mean, I can see how easily a clothing designer would just, all they'd have to do is provide the pattern they use for their clothes. You pull it into Tomorrow's Designer, you make the outfit, you take it over into Blender or Maya, and you retopologize it to make it more efficient, obviously, for the grid. And then they provide you with the cloth textures they use for their items, and then bam, you got it in one of their virtual shops. It's, I mean, I can see the workflow and how it would all interact and be such a huge opportunity for everybody, for the businesses and for the creators.
Right, and here's the other side is if when you look at economically, it's an excellent business opportunity for people to become contractors working for several different designers, doing several different things. And gosh knows that that is so definitely needed right now as we're becoming more and more of a service industry related economy rather than an actual manufacturing based economy. And so I think it's a good opportunity. So my point to everybody is, my point to everybody is, if you're a creator and you have a special skill set, we need to know about it because we want to be able to match you up with these real life people who are coming in and have them matched up with somebody who can make what they need to have come true. So we need you guys to let us know who you are. I don't know every creator on the grid. I don't know every person who's perfect with Blender. I don't know every person who is great with scripting. But we need to put you as teams with these other people in order for when they come in, we could say, here's who you're working with.
Well,
and
would it be helpful to have some kind of box, like, you know, maybe Will could script something, to have a box they can drop a note that has what they do, what their name is, what their specialties are, what skill sets they use, what programs they might use? Would that be helpful to you?
Oh, most definitely. Because yeah, I really need to know who you guys are. And if you're interested in doing some of this work, well, let us know because that's what we got to do.
That is the key, because
Well,
I can't count the number of times somebody says, well, I'm not doing that, but this person is. And I'll say, well, did you tell them you wanted to do it? Well, no, but nobody asked me to do it. My answer is, we don't know you do things until you tell us. So that is the key. You've got to let us know what you do. You have to come to us and say, I would like to be a part of this, or else we're not going to know that. We have no way of knowing everybody on the grid and what everybody does. Exactly, Tian. We can't read minds. So let it be known.
There's other skills in there that would be useful to be known as well.
All kinds
okay, so here's a concept that's
project
being
manager, for example. A couple of really good project managers in here would help.
Yeah, that would help. The other thing is, like, here's an idea for our animators. I was talking about this yesterday. So we're getting somebody who has ties to all the casinos in Vegas, and what they have said is betting on skateboarding competitions is not allowed because the skateboarding judges are very much like the International Olympics Committee. There's too much bias. All right. So what they want to do is they want to do virtual skateboard competitions. And I said to the gentleman I was talking to, I said, well, you know, there's a problem with that. He said, what's that? I said, every time you run a virtual skateboard competition, every action is going to be absolutely perfect.
Yep.
There's no downside because it's scripted, right? However, here's the thing for animators. If you team up a really great animator with a skateboarder who can do this, or this, number one, the animator gets to make new animations that become available to the grid, right? Number two, you've now opened the boxes to what can be done. Number three, now they have already said that they would sponsor an actual virtual skateboarding competition where it's all based primarily on precision and actual design of the skateboard routine. So it's completely unbiased. So these are things that we're looking at, and these are part of that out of the box thinking where I want to go. So this is why it's important that we know what you can do, because if you can do the kind of things that a particular customer is looking for, we're going to team you up with them and say, this is what they need. So you guys got to let us know, because I don't know what all of your skill sets are. I don't know, what you're good at. I don't know what the software is that you have.
Well, I'll add a lot of those criteria as things that people can put on their entries in the directory. Because I do want that to be, people that create content, animators as well. It's not just about a list of stores, it's about a list of skills and contributions and what people do in here so that people can find each other. So I can add a lot of those sorts of things into there as a first step. And then we've got a set of resources. And as I say, if we can put a few management kind of roles in there, team leaders and project management experience and that kind of thing, then those people would be ideal to go to first. And they would hopefully have some idea of how to find and put together a team of the other skills that you need, because that's what you need with something like this. When you're crossing a boundary into virtual, you need to have one contact really that can then sort of go and find the other resources and work out whether they've got the skills or not. Somebody outside of virtual is going to find it very difficult to tell whether a person that's claiming to be a good scripter or a good animator is actually a good scripter or a good animator. So somebody that can manage that from inside the grid and would be able to tell whether they're putting together a good team or not would be good. So even skills like that would be an advantage.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So, and it's good for me because then I don't have to know everybody. I just need to know who the project leaders are, and then
Exactly.
I can say, I can talk with them directly. So,
Yes.
guys, this is a big part of what I wanted to talk about today, because this is actually coming to fruition. This is what we are working on. It's active. I'm on phone calls all the time. So I really want you to know that this is where we're going, and we really want you to be a part of that. InWorldz can't do all of it, so we need to rely on our customers, our current residents, and our current creators to say we can help with growing this. And you guys have always asked me, well, what can we do to help? I'm now telling you what you can do to help. This is a big thing for us, and we really want to make this bridge to real life work, and that means you guys have to help us make it work. So you bring all your skill sets and we will do our thing and we'll mesh it together, and let's see where this takes us, because I think it's a viable option for us. No, Lexi, we cannot have pot growers and InWorldz. No.
I think Lex has been amazingly well behaved while we've been talking about that. So that's the mildest I expected to come back.
Wow, you're really being nice to him today. What did he do? Did Alexa
Well, he
finally
keeps
stop saying
threatening to
his
move
name?
into my house. I've got to find some way to be nice.
Okay, Wolf, just send him the wrong address. Send him to Zimbabwe.
I've tried that. Teal's too nice. She keeps correcting me. I said he could live in the upstairs floor, and she said it's a one-story house.
Ellie.
I said he could live in the basement.
Yeah.
Pointed out we don't have a basement.
I think it's real critical that you go ahead and decide what method you want these people to do this. Do you want them to send you a note personally to your AV? Do you want them to DM you in Discord? Do you want Wolf to create a box where people put the notes in? What's going to be the best vehicle for you, for these people to make up these notes that tell you what their skill sets and what they're interested in doing?
Yeah, I think a box would be really great, because if Wolf's going to integrate it into his site as well, so that we know, who we have and whatnot, and we could probably do something like that on the InWorldz website, since he's also working on that. That way, it's all there, and he'll have access to everything that I do, so that he can literally just, I don't have to pass him anything. He can just pull it up and take a look at it. But the neat thing is that I'll be able to take a look at everybody. And here's the funny thing, is I do know who our biggest creators are. That much I do know. And the reason I know that is because you cash out. So I know pretty much every single solitary creator who actually cashes out on a regular basis. So I know already from some experience who those people are. But again, I don't know their skill sets. But even if you're not a big creator who cashes out, that shouldn't deter you. Because
exactly.
You may have fresh ideas, or you may have a skill set that's not necessarily about creating or whatnot, that should not deter you. If you got a skill set that you feel that you can bring to the table for some of these projects and whatnot, please drop your name, because the only thing you have to lose is that we don't consider you for a project. Seriously, that's the only thing you have to lose, but you are in our database of somebody that we have. So, if as content creator says, even if you're not commercially motivated, but if this is something where you feel like you can get your name out there, or that it sounds like something that you'd really be interested in, we need to know. We don't know who you are. Tell us, please.
We also have the opposite. We have people that, probably have the skills to create amazing stuff in here. They may have relevant real life skills in graphics and that kind of thing, but they don't do a lot of that commercially in world because they have a limited amount of time. They maybe do that in real life, and they wouldn't make enough money out of it in here to make it worth their while. Whereas if it's a commercial project that somebody's going to be paid for doing that work in world, then that may actually be worth their time in getting involved in. They may have those skills, they just don't use them commercially in world.
That's also very true. Yes. So guys, please just let us know. Wolf will work on that, and I'll put a post out as to when it's out. And this is something that we really want to move forward on, and really just start nailing together, the people who are going to be working with other people. InWorldz will be very much responsible for the initial setup and the making sure that, whatever region that they're on, how much of space they're going to have, et cetera, and getting all the specifications, and then passing that on in order to get it done. That's our job. So,
and if we can get a few of these done, then we can put something on the new website that's that's a big part of the potential of why come to InWorldz. We say we've done these projects and attract a whole bunch of other businesses that want to try that.
Carol, that's a good question. Probably for the most part right now, we're taking baby steps, to be honest. You might hear me actually promote some of these people because they are actual real life products, right? And I want you guys to have the idea that you can actually go and buy real life products with your eyes and have them delivered to your home. So yeah, you'll probably hear about some of them that way. Then the other one is that as I'm going through, these people are coming in and I'm teaming them up with mentors in order to give them their first initial, how do I handle inventory? How do I walk and how do I talk? Those are the three most important things that they have to know when they come in. Anything beyond that, they can learn on their own or go to the virtual beginnings. Some of them might, Judy. Some of them might be international businesses as well. So I would assume that it's going to depend on what your local laws are and whether or not they're set up to do that. But yeah, you'll probably, and if they get enough demand for it, I'm sure they would definitely set it up. They're looking for new venues of marketing. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for having what they're calling a virtual asset in tandem to their real life assets. So this is what they're looking for, and this is what we're trying to provide them with. So think of it that way, and give them some love, or help them out. Even if you can't purchase from them, being helpful and just and welcoming to them will be a huge thing for them, because remember, they're scared. They're not sure what's going to happen here. So we're really going to try to blunt that for them and make it really, really easy for them. That's what we're going to try to do. So we need our community to do the same thing and help them out.
Exactly.
And that's how we're going to go with this. And oh my gosh, we ran to an hour. God,
and spread the word. Spread the word.
Yep.
I babble so much. It's amazing. So there's all the stuff that's going on, and I like to use these shows to just sort of give you guys a little bit of feedback on what's going on in the background, because I know you guys think that I'm not around enough and that I don't tell you enough, but I really, 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 really want you guys to understand that this stuff is going on behind the scenes. So yeah, this is really important to InWorldz, and I think it's going to be important to you guys, and I think it's a nice symbiosis, and I think we can really make this work. So on that note, again, go to our InWorldz birthday. I will put a post up either today or tomorrow. So if I don't get it today, because my slate is really full today, I will put it up first thing in the morning for you guys for the contest, and I will break down the prizes for you. Since I just thought about it, I'm kind of going off the cuff here, but I wrote down the dates so that I know what everything is going on, and I will put that up, and I'm sure EC and Bensky and everybody else will make sure you guys are bombarded with the details so that you know, and then we'll go from there. So go to the event. Start taking your pictures and your photos, even if I don't have it up tonight. Start doing it, and then you can just send them in. You can put them on the forum post. You can send them on our Facebook, on our Twitter, or even just to me directly. I don't care how you do it, just as long as I'm able to actually get to it. So.
Oh, and let me say, the best way to get notified for things is to become a member of the InWorldz Events Committee group and the iNewz group. Those two are official groups of InWorldz, and the welcome group too, obviously. Any one of those three you should get pretty much information about everything that's official InWorldz related. So I highly recommend you join those groups.
Yep.
Yes, definitely. So, guys, on that note, guys and ladies, Lexi, you were very well behaved. I'm very impressed. Thank you so very much. And although I was holding an egg throughout the entire show, Teal, we got to talk about me holding on to an egg. But I do love the duck bunnies. Anyways,
I want a duck bunny.
Thought it would be comforting.
Teal gave me a duck bunny. I'm all excited now. If I can just get it to follow me, I'll be all set.
Oh God, she wants things to start following her. She's gonna be like the Pied Piper, isn't she? She's gonna have her little...
I'm gonna have a duck and a bunny, a duck bunny and a bunny following me all over.
Oh my God! All right, so EC, thanks ever so much for being on the show. We don't have you on nearly enough, but thank you so very much.
My pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Thanks to Matt Faxclaw for his wonderful idea for the Jurassic thing. I think it really, really helped set up sort of this year's theme, which is really fantastic. By the way, that's something else I should tell you guys. If you guys have an idea of an event that you want to run, I'm always open to it. Now, understand, EC pretty much takes from after this birthday until the Fall Fest. She's pretty much off. But that doesn't mean that things can't continue to happen. All right. She's got a good core team in place who can sort of handle some of the things when she's not around. So if you've got something that you really want to do that is a team collaboration that you really want us to sponsor, send me a note. I'm more than happy to read over it and say yeah or no. If I see definite problems with it, I'll tell you why. And if you can think of a way to work around it, then we can work with it. So it doesn't always have to be an actual InWorldz event thing is what I'm saying. If there's something that you want to do for 3 or 4 months out of the year, or even a month or something like that, we can figure it out. Just let us know, give us an idea of what you want to see.
Give us enough notice though, so we can schedule it in that it doesn't affect the other events we have, and that you have plenty of time to do it, and we have plenty of time to get the other events too. So we just want to be informed and aware of the time frames.
Right, exactly. So
and the number of sims you may need.
That does help, yeah. So, all right, I'm going to wrap up this episode with you guys. I have absolutely loved chatting and answering questions and sort of giving you guys a little bit of feedback in the back. Please do not forget to join our Discord channel. It's usually very quiet, believe it or not, because unless there's something massively disastrous going on the grid, it's actually fairly quiet, but it is a great place to get some help and some information when you need it. Do not use it for support, because I will not answer your support questions in Discord. I'm going to say that very succinctly. I already have support. I've spent 2 years routing support through support, and that's where it needs to go. So Discord is not for support, just so everybody knows. And I'm going to put this little disclaimer in as well. Please read my profile before you ask me questions about support. Because if you offline me a question about support, chances are I will never answer it. So please do not send me offline messages about support. Don't send them to Jim or to myself. We route everything through support, and we do that for a reason, because that way if we need to know, it needs to go to Mantis, or if it needs to go to the devs. And Mai really keeps all of that very coordinated as to where everything is, and she multitasks all of that stuff. And she sort of keeps us on our toes and says, hey, did you fix this yet? Yeah, no joke, she does that. So just so you guys know, that I just want to put those disclaimers out there. I think I'm going to make it like an every episode disclaimer. Please do not send me support questions. So it's been a great show, and I hope you guys are feeling really good about what we have coming down the pipeline and the things that we're working towards, and there's some activity going on there. And again, go to the Birthday Sims, get your pictures, get your videos. I want to see them, and I'll put my post up today or tomorrow for you guys so you know exactly what you're standing to win, okay? And thanks, Wolfie, as always. I didn't even get to pick on you today.
I know, it's been wonderful.
Damn, I'm going to have to work on that for the next one.
It's because I talk too much.
We both do. You see and I, we just do a personal call, man. It's like, it just goes on for hours.
Well, one of the reasons I have a tiny avatar is I get a lot less abuse from people when I'm tiny, and with the bunny suit as well. I mean,
I'm an equal opportunity abuser, just so you know.
This doesn't surprise me.
I'm an EOA. I just want you to know that. I don't care how cute you look. I will still abuse you.
I'm sure I can come up with another meaning of EOA if I try hard enough.
I wouldn't recommend it. All right, guys. You have a wonderful week. Go visit the Sims, have fun, and get your submissions into us, and we will see you again next month. So thanks everybody for showing up.
Just real quick before I go, I had a couple of people firing questions at me. The list of your skills and ways you can contribute, there's a crossover between what we need for the event stuff and what Ellie's been talking about for the real life projects coming in. So I'm going to put something together in the next couple of days so that you can say all the kind of skills you've got if you want to be involved in either of those sides of things. I'll make it dead easy for you to register, and we'll get that sorted out for everybody.
And thank you, Ellie, for having me today. And thank you for supporting the wonderful events that we have on our event sims.
Well said.
Very well said. All right. Ciao, everybody.
See you guys.
Take care, everybody.